folks, welcome back to What's Cooking in Bert's Kitchen. As you all know, I run a little chocolate bakery. I bake a lot with chocolate. People are always asking me about candies, so today I decided I'm going to show you how to make simple, easy candy. The holidays are coming up. What do I get for certain people who have everything, or maybe my budget's tight, etc., etc. I want to make something, I'm going to a party. These will be an absolute smash. What we're going to make today is some chocolate raisin nut clusters. First thing you're going to need is a double boiler. Here we have a pan with just an inch or two of water in it. And this is the most difficult part of this whole recipe. You want to get a bowl that fits tight across the top of your pan, but it's not going to fall so deep into your pan that it's touching the water. The important thing when melting chocolate, don't let the water or steam get anywhere into your chocolate, because otherwise you're just going to wind up seizing your chocolate. Now we get the heat on that. We want to bring it to a boil, get the steam up there, to this. I worked hard on this recipe. I found this to be the right combination. I have here 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips. To that, I am adding 4 ounces of unsweetened baker's chocolate. This will give us a nice bittersweet chocolate. And to take the edge off of that, I don't want to add processed sugar to this. To sweeten it up just a hair, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of a nice pure honey. Now, as I've explained to you before, when melting chocolate, the important thing to do with this is to constantly stir. Now, as you can see here, our chocolate is starting to melt. It's coming down nice and soft. Still kind of thick. So what we want to do now at this point is throw in 2 tablespoons of butter. No more than that. This will melt in there, get this all nice and liquidy, and we'll have a nice, not too thin, chocolate mixture. Again, as I said before, the trick to this whole process is constantly stirring. A slightly runny, slightly thick, nice melted chocolate. Get it off the heat at this point. What we're going to add to it at this point is 1½ cups of raisins, and 1 cup of chopped pecans. Get them stirred in there nice. Now you notice I'm leaving it on top of the hot water. That'll help to keep things from solidifying too quickly on me. Now, if you'd rather have more nuts than raisins, please adjust your amounts. This happens to be the way I like to make these candies. Okay, so we want to mix this well. I happen to be using a spatula to make sure I can scrape all the chocolate off the sides of this bowl. Make sure that it's all fully incorporated. Get the nuts spread out through there nice and even. What we've got here is a nice thick chocolate raisin nut mixture. At this point, we're going to use this handy little scoop that we've been using for cookies and other things throughout any of my videos you've ever seen any of those, you know exactly which implement I'm talking about. Nice little ice cream scoop. Everybody's got one of these laying around somewhere. Scoop out a nice even amount of your mixture and place it on a lined pan. The reason for using this scoop is A, it's easy to get them out of here, and B, it keeps everything a nice consistent size. If you like them a little bit smaller, please use a teaspoon. Well, you probably need 2 teaspoons to kind of scrape them off of one onto the other and get it down onto your sheet. No need to grease this sheet, because we're just going to stick it in the fridge to let them harden into candies. We're not baking them. They'll come right off of here. If you have wax paper, that's a perfectly acceptable alternative. Okay, so here we have our candies set out on our lined baking sheet. Take this, stick it in the fridge for about half an hour, at minimum half an hour. An hour will be best. This chocolate will solidify back into a nice candy, and you'll have a beautiful candy. Okay, so we've had the candy sitting in the fridge for an hour. Half an hour is the minimum amount of time, but an hour, hour and a half is perfectly good. That'll let the chocolate solidify and get our candy set up. So here we have our candies that solidified back into chocolate. Now I'm going to show you how to plate these up. I have these little mini muffin papers. They'll work just fine, or if you go to the store, craft store, or the Walmart, you can find little candy papers. These work just fine. Take your candy, they'll come right off. Place them right in the little paper. Set your papers, your candies, on a nice dessert plate. And here we have a nice little dessert plate you can set out. You can use a larger plate, set them on a tray. You can package them up in little boxes if you're going to hand them out as gifts. But here we have a nice dark chocolate, bittersweet candy. I don't like a whole lot of sugar in mine. I'm more of a dark chocolate fan. If you wanted to go with a full 12 ounces of, say, milk chocolate or semi-sweet chocolate chips, that would be perfectly fine. The combination I gave you will give you more of a dark chocolate type combination, less sugar. Oh, my Lord, what a candy. Absolutely phenomenal with those pecans and the raisins in there. Gives it just a nice chewy texture, a little bit of crunch, not too sweet. And chocolate, as always, is the star of the show. Thank you for spending time with us today. Please come back for our next episode and see what's cooking in Bert's kitchen.